Go to the final topic. Let's go to this is the most controversial topic. Our QB rankings list for the 2025 season.
Amazing, brother.
So let me just tell you guys real quick. There's a difference between the QB tier list and the QB ranking list. The QB tier list is throughout the season. The QB ranking list is before the season, and I could also say it's after the season. So hopefully you guys understand that. It's way different. This is who we truly think are the best quarterbacks ranked from 1 to 32. QB tier list is best quarterbacks throughout the season. Doesn't necessarily mean that we think this QB is better than this QB overall. We just think that this QB is better than this QB throughout the season. All right, let's get it started. I have my list right here. Let me start it off real quick, and then I'll let you share as well, Brian. So this is my list right here. Number one on my list, it's going to be controversial. I don't care. Lamar Jackson is the number one QB in my eyes, just given what he's done in the past 2 years, being the MVP in 2023 and getting robbed out of MVP in 2024. I thought he played the best football as a quarterback last year. And shoot, he was first team All-Pro, even though he didn't win an MVP as a quarterback. Number two, I have Josh Allen. I thought Josh Allen was sensational last year in the postseason. In the regular season, Josh Allen has been one of the 3 best quarterbacks for the past 3 seasons, really. Matter of fact, you can even go back to probably the past 5 seasons. He's been amazing. Number 3, this is going to be controversial. I got Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow was an MVP candidate last year as well. Joe Burrow put up amazing numbers. Now, the thing with Joe Burrow and why I can't put him above Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson is that Joe Burrow, in some games, he could have won them some games. Matter of fact, there was games on the table that he lost. Turnover here, fumble here, a screw up here. If he would have made the right play, the Bengals could have probably made the playoffs. But he just couldn't do it. But his overall play in the regular season was just so damn good that I have to put Joe Burrow at 3. Number 4, I'm going to go Patrick Mahomes. I still got to give Patrick Mahomes the respect that he's due. He took his team to the Super Bowl yet again. He was able to make the right plays when he needed to down the stretch to get his team to the Super Bowl. He just knows how to win games in the biggest of moments. My thing with Patrick Mahomes, the reason why I can't put Patrick Mahomes in my top 3 is because of the production. You got to show me, you got to give me the production as well in the regular season. And Patrick Mahomes last year, albeit I know he didn't have the greatest of talent, there was times throughout that season where we were scratching our heads and saying, what is wrong with Patrick Mahomes? Why is Patrick Mahomes not playing well? Like, he's okay, but he's not that same Patrick Mahomes that we witnessed back in 2020, 2021, and in 2022 and 2023. So I got Patrick Mahomes at 4. 5, I have Jared Goff. That's another one people are going to disagree with, but I just think Jared Goff is a really good quarterback. He was very efficient last year. I looked at the numbers. I looked at the advanced analytics. Jared Goff is one of the more accurate QBs in the NFL, and his stats back it up. I just think Jared Goff is just a really good QB. I don't think he's a scheme merchant at all. Number 6, I'm going Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels was absolutely sensational last year as a rookie quarterback. He had arguably the best. He had arguably the best rookie year as a QB ever that we've ever seen. I just got to put Jaden Daniels up there. His completion percentage, his accuracy from the pocket, his ability to be a dual threat QB. He had nearly 900 yards rushing, and He had nearly like, I think maybe 4,000 yards pat. Like, dude is up there, man. He is a fantastic dual threat quarterback, the likes that we haven't seen since Lamar Jackson, obviously. But man, this dude was fantastic, bro. And he took his team to the championship game as a rookie. That's unheard of.
He was nuts. I ain't never seen nothing like that before.
Here, okay. I'm going to get pushed back. I already know. But damn it, this guy right here is one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the NFL as well. I know his postseason success hasn't been good, but when I watched the film,
is that Jared Goff at 5?
Yes, I just said Jared Goff at 5. Yes,
I wasn't paying enough attention.
I'm going Justin Herbert at 7. Justin Herbert.
If anything, him being that low is kind of a hot take compared to where people usually rank him.
So Justin Herbert is 7. Part of the reason why, because I think last year I had him maybe 5. Justin Herbert, the reason why he went down 2 spots is because his production in the postseason. That's just really what it is. I just think that I can't put a top 5. I can't put a QB in my top 5 if you're going to stink up the joint in the postseason that much every single season. But man, in the regular season, he throws some of the most accurate footballs by any QB. He's deadly accurate. He doesn't have the enormous godly numbers like Lamar, like a Josh Allen, like a Joe Burrow. But when you really dissect the advanced analytics, when you really watch the film, you look at this dude, you're like, man, he is such a perfect, clean cut. Fundamentals is always clean. Can he be more aggressive? Can he push the ball down the field a lot more? Absolutely. But he does a lot of the things correct as a quarterback. He doesn't make a lot of bad decisions other than when he's in the playoffs, and that's the problem. So I got Justin Herbert at 7. Number 8, I'm going Baker Mayfield. Now, I get it. He can be turnover prone sometimes. He had, I think he may have been 12 or 15 interceptions, but he had 41 touchdowns, 41 passing touchdowns. And I think he had nearly 5,000 yards passing. Baker Mayfield was sensational last year. You got to remember, he went from Dave Canales, and then he had a new offensive coordinator in Liam Cohen. And Liam Cohen took what Dave Canales did, and he just put it times 2. We thought Baker Mayfield was good with Dave Canales. Now he has Liam Cohen, and Liam Cohen was like, all right, I'm gonna do even better than that. And Baker Mayfield was sensational last year. He was one of the best fantasy quarterbacks, and in reality, he was one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. I love just how better Baker Mayfield has become ever since he left the Browns, and then he had to be a backup for the Rams. He had to be a backup for the Panthers. He has really come to his own, one of those redemption stories that we should appreciate in the NFL. So I got Baker Mayfield at 8. Number 9, I'm going to go Matthew Stafford. I think people tend to forget that Matthew Stafford, I would say halfway through the regular season, he wasn't that great. He was a little mediocre. But towards the end of the season, he started to get going. The Rams started to get hot, and we started to see Matthew Stafford be that elite level quarterback that we know him as. And I still respect Matthew Stafford. I'm going to still give him the respect where it's due. That's why I still have him in my top 10. I just think he's number 9. But he could always improve from number 9. So that's just me. Matthew Stafford at 9. And number 10, Jalen Hurts. I feel like that's respectful. I feel like that's a respectful spot for Jalen Hurts, being the 10th best QB. He took his team to the Super Bowl. They won the Super Bowl. He was a good game manager. He didn't turn the ball over a whole lot. He did what the coaching staff told him to do, and he did it pretty well. I just think Jalen Hurts, from a talent perspective and a production perspective, I just don't think he's on the level of the other guys that I just mentioned. He's a good game manager. He is clutch. He is a Super Bowl champion. He's a Super Bowl MVP. But I need that production as well. And right now, Jalen Hurts as a passer, I just don't think he's to the level of the other quarterbacks that I've mentioned. That's why I think he's number 10 in my opinion. I don't think that's disrespectful to have Jalen Hurts number 10. If you have him top 5, what is wrong with you? What are you watching? All right, so just to speed everything up, I have Jordan Love at 11. I have Brock Purdy at 12. I have CJ Stroud at 13. I have Dak at 14. I have Bo Nix 15. Sam Darnold 16. Tua 17. Geno 18. Trevor Lawrence 19. Aaron Rodgers 20. Kyler Murray 21. Russell Wilson 22. Kyler Murray 21. You think that's too low? Really?
I got him at least above Rodgers.
Wow. Okay. All right.
And
Tua. Well, he wasn't. Well, Kyler Murray wasn't very good last year. I know Rodgers wasn't good either, but like, it's one spot. It's one spot anyway. It's interchangeable. 22 Russell Wilson, 23 Caleb Williams, 24 Drake May, 25 Joe Flacco, 26 Bryce Young, 27 Justin Fields, 28 Michael Penix Jr., 29 JJ McCarthy, 30 Cam Ward, 31 Anthony Richardson, 32 Tyler Shuck. So that is my QB rankings. 11 through 15, I will say Jordan Love. See, the thing with Jordan Love is when I was comparing him to a CJ Stroud, Jordan Love still had better numbers. Although he was struggling throughout the year, CJ Stroud was worse than Jordan Love. I think it was quarterback rating, passer rating. Even though Jordan Love missed some parts of the season, Jordan Love was still the better QB. And Dak Prescott is an interesting one. I was conflicted on this one because he only played 10 games last year.
Wasn't that great in those 10 games?
He wasn't. So I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I see Dak at 14. I don't know if I would have him 14 if I redid the list. I don't know if I would have him 14. I might have to move him down a little bit. Maybe
you're smoking dope.
Maybe 15. Maybe I might flip Bo Nix and Dak.
One spot.
Maybe I might flip Dak and Bo Nix. But for the most part, I like my list. What do you think, real quick?
There's some stuff on the list I wouldn't necessarily super agree with, but a lot of this stuff is just splitting hairs once you get past a certain point. Like once you get to Justin Herbert, you're kind of just splitting hairs, especially when you get to the 10 to 15 region. Like those are pretty much the same tier of QBs. It's just however which way it's ordered due to the selection process. So I ain't really gonna complain too much about it. And anything after that is just kind of like, who cares about the Tuas and the other guys? But yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. Top 10, my top 10 looks a little different, I believe.
Okay.
Jared Goff at 5, I just can't get down with that. I'm sorry.
But show me your top. Show me your list if you have it.
I gotta share my screen. Share screen. There we go. All right, boom. All right, here's my top 10 list. I gotta make sure it looks
Patrick Mahomes number 1.
Yes, Patrick Mahomes number 1. Listen, this dude, even in his down years, he still finds ways to win. Until one of these dudes got to beat him in order for them to claim this number 1 spot.
Jalen Hurts is number 1.
No, that don't count. We know the circumstances ain't the same. Just Pat Mahomes is still my number 1 QB because he is the boogeyman. To this day, he's the boogeyman. And I got Lamar Jackson at 2 because, in my opinion, he should have won that MVP. And I know what I see, man. He had 40 touchdowns, like 4 interceptions, bro. Come on now. That's like some Aaron Rodgers stuff right there. Prime Aaron Rodgers stuff when he was winning MVPs. And how you win first team all pro, but don't win MVP as the QB. Anywho, I digress. Josh Allen at 3, MVP run, of course. He's going to be top 3 regardless. Joe Burrow at 4 because Joe Burrow, honestly, had a solid case for MVP if his team would have won more games. It actually made the playoffs. Jaden Daniels at 5. The rookie coming at the number 5 spot, who's a second year player now, but coming at the 5 spot, Jaden Daniels was phenomenal. Not many QBs in this league I would take over Jaden Daniels at this point, even though this is only his second year in the league, but he showed very promising attributes throughout last season. This dude was phenomenal. Big game after big game, clutch performance after clutch moment. No moment was too big for him. He just showed up when it matters the most, and he knocked off the Detroit Lions on the road. So he got that respect. I got Matthew Stafford at 6. Know he's dealing with the back injury and all that stuff now, but this is based off of last season. So Matt Stafford, he's just we all know what Matt Stafford is capable of. Hopefully he stays healthy this year because we want to see a good Rams team fully locked and loaded. Somebody got to beat the Eagles, daggone it. Justin Herbert at 7. I be getting on Justin Herbert's case a lot because the man just can't win a playoff game, but the talent is undeniable. The man can sling the football and he slings it well. Unfortunately, he threw like the same amount of interceptions in one playoff game that he did like the entire season. But hey, that's neither here nor there. He's still a phenomenal talent QB, great arm, very accurate QB, and he's more mobile. He's pretty mobile as well. And he honestly didn't have the greatest weapons last year, and he still was able to make it work. So, I'll give him some extra points for that. Jared Goff at the 8 spot. Jared Goff was, at times he looked shaky, but for the most part, he was accurate, surgical, did not put the ball in harm's way a lot. And he just did what the offense needed to do and led the number 1 offense in the NFL, I believe they were. So, got to give him respect on that. Ran that Ben Johnson scheme to a T, and we always see how Caleb Williams is adjusting to it. It's not an easy scheme to run. You got to be a smart QB to play in that Ben Johnson offense. So this shows how the prowess of Jared Goff living up to that number 1 overall draft pick back in 2016. Number 9, we got Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, man, he won the Super Bowl, won the Super Bowl MVP. People get on him. He ain't stuff up the stat sheets in the offseason outside of them tush push TDs. But hey, when January hit, the man, he was on one. He was on. Granted, he did win the playoff game, only throwing 100-something yards. But in the Super Bowl, what he did to that Chiefs defense, you was like, oh my goodness, he started picking up where he left off in 2022. He came back for revenge. So people say, oh, he has the best team. Let me tell you something. That may be true, but at the end of the day, you got to make plays as the QB. It's just that simple. So I'm putting Jalen Hurts in 9 because of that. 10, I got Baker Mayfield there. Baker Mayfield, I'm glad to see Baker Mayfield is actually flourishing in this Buccaneers team after the league tried to count him out and the Browns tried to discard him like trash. And I'm glad he's back, number 1 QB on the Buccaneers, coming back from being a backup to starting. So this is a great story. I love Baker Mayfield's game. Great arm, mobile too. He's a tough dude too as well. And he runs that Buccaneers offense the way it needs to be ran. 11, CJ Stroud. Some of y'all may think it may be a little high after the season he had, but we got to add context to that. He had probably a bottom 3 offensive line in the entire league, and he was still able to put up solid numbers, and he won a playoff game when people was counting him out. They were like, oh, man, the Chargers got this. Including me, I counted them out. I was like, the Chargers, they good, man. It's Jim Harbaugh, Justin. Man, they got defense. No, he diced them boys up. So I'm putting CJ Stroud 11, man. If that offensive line can even get a little bit better, you'll see a much better season from him. I got Dak at 12. This is kind of a biased placement, I will admit, but I know what Dak is when the offense is healthy, he's healthy, and when he has more than one weapon to throw the football to. Watch what Dak Prescott do with George Pickens as the number 2 receiver this year. That's all I'm gonna say on that department. Jordan Love at 12. Jordan Love is a very good QB. Unfortunately, his weapons are less than subpar, honestly, because boy, oh boy, his weapons stink. And they drop the ball a lot, and they don't get any separation. He honestly would be a top 10, but man, I hope Matthew Golden can really elevate some of those stats and stuff like that. And Matt LaFleur can cook up a scheme where he isn't trying to do everything or do too much with lackluster weapons. Kyler Murray at 14, maybe a little high for Kyler Murray. He didn't have a very good year last year. How much of that was Drew Petzing? How much of that was Kyler Murray? Do we really know? Trevor Lawrence, I don't know how he ended up at 15. I'm not a huge Trevor Lawrence fan at all. I think he's overrated. He's not living up to his draft position and the generational tag they try to put on him coming out of Clemson. I honestly would have Bo Nix over him because at least Bo Nix, he played good football.
He did.
Yeah, but I think once we get to this range, we're really just splitting hairs. Like Brock Purdy, Geno Smith, Sam Darnold. Those are the same tier of dudes in my opinion. Like it's really not much separating them besides personal preference or whatever. You just going off of aesthetic at that point when you get to those guys. Then once you get to the 20s, rapid fire Tua, Aaron Rodgers, Caleb Williams, Drake May, Justin Fields, Cam Ward, Russell Wilson. Cam Ward's a little high, but honestly would take him over all of these QBs that's under him. And respectfully, Russell Wilson, Bryce Young, Joe Flacco, Penny, no one really cares about them dudes. So yeah, that's my list. Thoughts and opinions.
Well, number one, I think I'm not mad at the CJ Stroud point because there's a reason behind that. Scheme was god awful and he had no protection. But I would say around 14 is when matter of fact, the Dak Prescott one. I'm like, all right, bro, like Dak Prescott over Jordan Love. All right, bro, like you're a Cowboy fan. Anywho, but when we get to 14, I'm scratching my head because I'm looking at Kyler Murray at 14. I don't think Kyler Murray is a top 15 QB in the NFL. And I don't think Trevor Lawrence is a top 15 QB in the NFL. I think Brock Purdy is better than Kyler Murray and Trevor Lawrence. Brock Purdy is underrated in my opinion. I think Brock Purdy, he's not great. He's not an elite quarterback, but I think he's a good quarterback. I think Brock Purdy is a top 15 quarterback. He's on that 15 range. I believe Brock Purdy deserves a little bit more respect. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is better than Brock Purdy. Trevor Lawrence has more talent than Brock Purdy. A lot of quarterbacks have more talent than Brock Purdy. But I just think Brock Purdy, his ability to anticipate throws, his ability to read the defense pre-snap, post-snap, I just think he's better than Trevor Lawrence in this stage of their careers. Bo Nix, I'm not mad at Bo Nix at that spot. I have Bo Nix pretty much around that range. Geno Smith to Sam Darnold, I'm not mad at that as well. To all the other guys at the back end, here's my thing. My logic with the later portion of the QBs, I was looking at experience. I was looking at, have you played a snap yet? I was looking at, were you relatively decent last year? I think with Caleb Williams, although his situation wasn't all that great, I do think that he should be lower on the list. I believe it was Russell Wilson over him. I think I may have put I think it was maybe Russell Wilson I put over him, but after that, for the most part, I think Caleb Williams is all right. Drake May, I think I may have lowered him as well. But yeah, I mean, it's whatever. Like after we get to past Aaron Rodgers, it's whatever. It's whatever.
Yeah,
so, that's my thoughts. And I think that'll do it for our episode of Courtside View Podcast. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below, hit the notification bell, and follow the socials. And next time we see you guys, football.
It's going to be football time.
We'll finally be able to pick the games again. So I can't wait for that next week.
And we will be picking spreads this year. Well, at least I will.
Well, we'll get to that down the road. But thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys later. Peace.
Salute.